All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another WNBA regular season video. In this video, we're going to look back at my top 50 players coming into this year. We're going to look back on it, sort of kind of do some mid-season superlatives, talk about some players that have probably moved up the list, maybe some players that aren't on the list because they haven't played yet or haven't played enough. And yeah, we're gonna move some of these players around, just as a fun little exercise. So if you like what I have to say, like the video. If you have any opinions, comment it down below. And if you just like the vibes, consider subscribing. I will leave the original video, the top 50 WNBA players going next season, somewhere. It's in the top right corner, or it's gonna be at the end of the video. You can check that out if you want to check out my original list. We're not gonna go through all 50. We're gonna do like the top 15 because I think those are the ones that really are going to get moved around here. Some players that I want to give some props to that were honorable mentions that are definitely in the top 50 now. One of them being Natisha Heidemann from the Seattle Storm. I didn't even have her in the top 50. I had her as an honorable mention, and she's balled out. She's had a great first half of the WNBA season. Also, Natasha Howard in Minnesota has been balling out as well. And yeah, I think that's it for the players that are definitely in the top 50 now. And now let's talk about some players that I'm gonna have to take out of the top 50. We're gonna have to postpone their ranking at least. Nafisa Collier, man. Where is she? Where is she? Bottom left of your screen. In the street clothes. Street clothes Collier now. Um, she just hasn't played at all this season. I had her. What does it say here in my little blurb about her? Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, I'm looking forward if she will get back to that. Yeah, and she hasn't played, which we sort of knew she wasn't going to play. I think she's ramping back up as we speak to play at some point during the season, whether that's right after All Star break or a little bit afterwards. I can't rank her. It's unfair to take up a spot and have her there because I have her at number three. I think she's the third best player, or I think she was the third best player going into this next season, but she just hasn't played the first half, and I don't think anything she can do in the second half of the season is going to convince me to keep her top three. So we're just going to postpone her ranking. I'm going to take her off the list, and by that happening, that means Brianna Stewart goes up one spot to be the third best player, or I thought would have been the third best player. She was fourth, actually, and that moves players like Alyssa Thomas up to fourth. So your top five being, and this is another player we're going to have to talk about here in a second, but your top five being, as of right now, a revised version of the top five is Asia Wilson at one. Of course, she's the best. Nneka Ogwumike, who maybe not two, but we'll leave it there for now so I don't confuse you guys. Nneka Ogwumike. Brianna Stewart at three. Alyssa Thomas at four. Jackie Young at five. Kelsey Plum at eight, and then that would put Jackie Young at five, Kelsey Plum at six, Chelsea Gray at seven, and then Alicia Gray at eight. So that would be sort of the top five, a little deeper top 10 as of right now because we can't rank, or I can't rank Nafisa Collier, and I don't want to take up a spot on my list with her being there. Another player who after Alicia Gray, I had Skylar Diggins at 10, which I don't know if she's at a top 10 season, but depending on what happens in the second half, she might still be in the top 10. But after 10, at 11, I had Satu Sabali. And Satu Sabali, unfortunately, and this is no dig at her, like personally, I think she's a fine person. I think she's a wonderful person. She hasn't been healthy. She's dealing with what I would like to call a long-term concussion. Obviously, she's on the bottom right. She's been wearing glasses. She's very sensitive to the light, very sensitive to noises now because she took that fall in the finals last year. It hasn't been great for her. It hasn't been a great 10 months for her. Yeah, it hasn't been a great 10 months for her. She's, by her being injured, and she got re-injured, she got another concussion, I think, or a slight concussion a couple weeks ago. Again, this is not a dig at her. She's out of shape. Her conditioning isn't there. Her feel for the game isn't there. So out of respect for her, I'm just going to take her off the list and wait. If she can come back this next half of the season and play consistently, I'll rank her again. But I don't want to take up a spot for somebody who it's not even her own fault. Just can't play right now. She's just not in shape. She's dealing with the concussive stuff. I don't feel it's fair to rank her, and obviously, again, like take up another spot from somebody who's actually been playing very well. So Satu is no longer number 11, and will postpone her ranking again. That being said, Satu Sabaline at 11, that moves a bunch of players up. Ryan Howard to 11, Jonquil Jones to 13. Jonquil Jones I might even put Jonquil Jones in the top 10. She be doing some crazy stuff sometimes with the ball. She thinks she's like Magic Johnson or something, but Jonquil Jones has had a really good season. Aaliyah Boston also has a really good season. She could be bumped up closer to the top 10. She's at 14. And then Angel Reese can be pushed up a little bit. And then a player I definitely want to put in the top 10. And this is where like I struggled to keep a Neka Gumake in the top 5, let alone the top 10 is. Kelsey Mitchell, man. Top left of your screen. Kelsey Mitchell, she's been having a hell of a season. A phenomenal season. Just controlling the offense. And I'm not the biggest fan of her play style. I think it's a little... It's good enough when it's working. When it's not working and it's just the one-man show, it's not impressive. But when it is working and everybody else is hitting their shots, it looks really good. That being said, I have to move her up because where did I have her? I had Kelsey Mitchell, number 16, which at the beginning of the season doesn't seem too crazy, but she's redoing what she did last year. And she's doing it even better if you ask some people, and I might lean towards that as well, where she's playing spectacularly well for this Fever team, especially with dealing with Caitlin Clark being out in and out of the lineup, Aaliyah Boston being in and out of the lineup. She's played with a bunch of different combinations of players thus far this season already, dealing with Coach Stephanie White, who I'm not the biggest fan of, the Indiana Fever head coach. It feels like Kelsey Mitchell and Stephanie White have a very solid working relationship, far better than what it is with Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White. But if Kelsey Mitchell's Stephanie White's favorite child, quote unquote, and she's playing this well, there's a reason for it, and I have to give her some respect there. So Kelsey Mitchell might be in the top 10, definitely in the top 10. If Jackie, Chelsea Gray haven't had great starts to the beginning of the season, the midpoint of the season now, Kelsey Mitchell might be top 8. She might be in that top 8, top 10 at least. Yeah, that's crazy. I had her close though. I had her at 16, which isn't bad. Let's see. Who else do I want to give some mentions to here? I want to give some mentions to Aaliyah Boston, who this has been her first season where she's really banged up. I talked about her briefly there moments ago. She's been great. She's been really great, and I feel like she gets so much hate online for just being on the Fever, for other reasons that we won't get into here. But I just feel like she's so supremely talented, and the season maybe hasn't gone how you thought it would. She's a much improved 3-point shooter. She's a much improved defender in big moments, I would say. When she's not in foul trouble and she's actually in at the end of games, I feel like she's a very solid defender now. And that wasn't the case even a couple months ago at she didn't even play in that. Yeah, no, she even just last year. Yeah, I think she's amazing. Again, Jonquil Jones really good, even though some Liberty fans aren't happy with the way Coach Chris DeMarco is using her. She's kind of just free balling like Rucker Park out there sometimes, but it works. It works. And moving away, oh no, we'll talk about her because she's a big too. She's a big. All right, so where was I? Oh, that's right. Angel Reese. This is another one. By merit, she's gonna move up because if I have to take again Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Neka, Nafisa Collier, Satu out of, or move some of those players down or remove some of those players, Angel Reese is going to go up. I don't know if her play has improved drastically, though. I think it's more a matter of the environment that she's playing in. And she's always been a phenomenal rebounder. She's always been a threat inside the three-point line, right? And even now, so same thing with Aaliyah Boston, like we mentioned. The three-point shot It's not always consistent, but it's there now. At least it's there. And for Angel, I feel like so many times I've watched her this season. And again, when I talk about Satu, I'll talk about Angel Reese the same way. This is not to be like mean to her or like say anything about her as a person. I feel like a lot of times when Angel's in the end of in the closing stages of these close games, she is the reason why the Atlanta Dream sometimes can't close out close games. And that's because her free throws aren't great. Her decision making in some of these moments isn't great, and I feel like all that will come with time. I think keeping her outside the top 10 is right where she belongs. You know, like she's like the 11th, 12th best player in the WNBA. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. That means you're borderline top 10. Um, but I do think, interestingly enough, for me, the big thing about Angel Reese is going to be obviously this team is going to be make the playoffs. This Atlanta Dream team is going to make the playoffs. I want to see you in the playoffs because last year the Atlanta Dream needed something else in the playoffs. They had enough to get there, and they it felt like they were going to go on a deeper run, and they ran into the fever. Um, I feel like Angel Reese is going to help that. I feel like my ranking of her is going to be determined a lot by what she does in the playoffs and if she helps her team close out series, close out games, win close games, and all that stuff. So Angel Reese definitely closer to the top 10 than she's ever been, at least on my personal list. And now we move into the guards. I want to talk about Olivia Miles first because we weren't ranking rookies that were coming in. I didn't put any rookies on this top 50 list. And I thought maybe Lauren Betts would be able to crack this list. I thought maybe, Awa Pham would be able to crack the list. Hell, maybe even AZ Fudd at like 50 or something, right? I would have to reshuffle a lot of my top 50 to get AZ in there. But to be honest, Olivia Miles is already a top 20 player. And that's saying something, dude. I have a player in mind who I think can be demoted a little bit. And it might not be popular, but I'll say it. I feel like Olivia Miles has overtaken Sabrina Ionescu already, who I had at number 20. And that would mean in her rookie season, Olivia Miles is right where Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Aaliyah Boston, Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray is already, and she's in year one. That's a crazy thing to think. To get a real concrete number for Olivia Miles, I'd probably have to redo this whole list. I don't want to do that right now, but she's top 20 for sure. Top 20, no question. Inching near top 10 already. And I'm going to use the same metric I've used for a lot of these players. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, young players, I should say. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Sonia Citron, who we'll get to in a second. Even Ryan Howard, who's oldish, youngish, Jackie Young. I'm gonna need to see you do it in the playoffs, because she's gonna be on this consistent playoff team for many years now, and it's gonna be interesting to see when a team is able to lock in on Olivia Miles for 2 weeks practically. Borderline 2 weeks of playing her back to back to back. Will they be able to figure her out? Will they be able to defend her a little bit differently? I've noticed that scoop layup shot she hasn't been going in recently. Players are getting savvy to it. They know she wants to go to that shot. It's going to be interesting to see how she adapts, because it feels like, even for me, the adaptation from Olivia Miles from her time at Notre Dame to a time at TCU to a time now in the WNBA, the short time in the WNBA, she's taken everything in stride, and she's looked amazing at every level. And it's crazy to think that she's already, even if she has like an okay playoff run, but they make it to like the second round or something, I would be heavily impacted by that, and I would think she'd be closer and closer to the top 10 as we get further and further in this season. Hopefully she can stay healthy. Talking about a familiar player in a new place, Marina Mabury, who Where did I have Marina Mabrey? Marina Mabrey's had herself for a year, or not a year, a season so far. I had her at number 30 here. A lot of it, a lot of my little snippet here that I said at the beginning of the year was it's going to be depending on what the Toronto Tempo want to do. Do they want to win? Do they want to tank? Well, not tank, but you know what I mean. Do they want to win? Do they want to, do whatever? Um, they're in a lot of these games. They're in a lot of serious games. And they're in a lot of serious games because of Marina Mabrey, especially with um, Sykes going down a couple weeks ago now, almost a month ago now. A lot of pressure's been on Marina Mabrey, and she tied the all-time scoring record for a single game a couple weeks ago, and she's been spectacular. And I love watching her play. And I had this thought, and I didn't want to say it in a video, but then I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, well, if everybody else is thinking it, then I'm thinking it. Marina Mabrey is literally just what Caitlin Clark was supposed to be at the WNBA level. And that's so crazy to think because Marina Mabrey is a vet. She's been on a lot of teams, a lot of places, been put in a lot of difficult situations, and this is the first time like almost the Toronto Temper Marina Mabrey's team, but she's the $1 million player. She's one of the high. She is one of the highest paid players in the league, and she's one of the highest paid players on this team. You expect that type of production from that type of player, and she's doing it, and it's just I won't say it's shocking, but like if you watched Unrivaled last season, last winter, if you saw how the way she was moving, the confidence she had, you knew this was coming. You didn't know it would be like in the first half or the second half of the season, because some of those players start off a little slow. Picked up right where she left off in Unrivaled, just in the WNBA 5-on-5 format now, and she's looked spectacular. Missed a couple games, but when she's played, she's been electric, and um, she is a three-point shooting player, so that shot does go up and down, and it's like, sometimes it's not there, sometimes it is there. But I feel like she is supremely consistent with what she brings to the table. Even though the antics aren't that high anymore. And the last play I want to talk about, kind of under the radar the last couple weeks, but Sonia Citron, that whole Washington thing that's going on there is so interesting because they have so many bodies, they have so many mouths to feed, and Sonia Citron has effectively become like a young vet because she's one of the only players that gets like consistent playing time and gets consistent shots. Now it's up to her to make those shots most nights, and most nights she does. Other nights you might think she's a little, too passive, this and that. I think that's just her personality as just a person, not just a basketball player. But otherwise, she's been great all year. With this first half of the year, where did I have her ranked? Did I have her? Where is she? Oh, I had. This is so funny. I had Sonia Citron ranked at 49. She's the 49th best player coming into the season. Would I move her up? Yeah. Yeah, I'd move her. I mean, well, also I forgot to mention Rickea Jackson's on my list too. She's at 29. Um, I definitely would move. I would move Sonia Citron. Borderline, yeah, top 30, top 30, top 20, late 20s, early 30s. We'll put it that way for Sonia. Um, so yeah, to wrap up this video, to make it all concise, A'ja Wilson still the best player in the league. That hasn't changed. Kelsey Mitchell definitely has moved up the list. Borderline top 10, maybe could be 9, 10, 11. Olivia Miles, mid-teens, high teens now. A new player that's broken into the rankings. Jonquel Jones. I mean, where did I have her again? At 13. Jonquel Jones is top 10. She's legit. Marina Mabrey. Where did I put Marina? I put her maybe outside the top 20. Just barely outside the top 20 maybe. Maybe just breaking into the top 20. Aaliyah Boston closer to the top 10. Angel Reese closer to the top 10, I would guess. Satu, we're postponing her ranking. Nafisa Kalia, we're postponing her ranking. Rickea Jackson, who I forgot to mention, season-ending injury, so we won't rank her this season. Yeah, a lot of these players have moved up, and it's been a very entertaining season so far. I do want to go through this list one more time and just see where I have some players. Um, Natasha Cloud on the top 50. I don't think Natasha Cloud's been a top 50 player. Erica Wheeler. Nah, she can't be here outside the top 50. I have Veronica Byrne at 45. She's definitely higher. Leonie Fibich is definitely higher as well at 46. Um, Camila Cardosa. Oh yeah, she definitely moved up this season as well. Um, let's see, Cam Brink I might even push down even more. She's at 32. She just it's a coaching thing, but and an injury thing, but she hasn't been playing, and it worries me a little bit. Who else do I have here? Gabby Williams at 27. Feel like she could be moved up a tad bit. I also have Tina Charles here. This is before she retired this past season, so there's another spot open as well for somebody else to take. Um, Elena Smith at 22. She just hasn't been the same player as she was at the end of last season when she got co-defensive player of the year. I might have to move her down a little bit. Yeah. Naz Hamlin probably moved down a little bit. She's at 21. Let's see here. Kalia Copper. I feel like she just stays at 17. She hasn't done anything to impress me. The team's not winning. Is it Skylar? This is another one we talked about at the top of the video. Not in the top 10 anymore. Just not. It's a whole there's politics behind the Skylar Diggins thing that she's not playing right now, but when she was playing, I really didn't feel it. I'm gonna be honest. Um, and yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, so if you want to check out the original video, I will leave that at the end. It should be popping up soon. Check out that video on the left. Check out my playlist on the right, my Women's Hoops playlist. If you click my little icon right in the middle of the screen, a little subscribe button will pop up, and you can subscribe with ease. Like and comment as well. Sorry this is a bit of a later video. Hectic day today. But thank you so much. Like and comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.